Welcome to the Probably Soccer podcast, where we probably talk about soccer. My name's Eddie.
My name's Justin.
We've got a lot to discuss in today's episode. We've got some big news coming out of U.S. soccer. Pochettino has re-signed, and a new commissioner of Major League Soccer. We discuss what's been going on in the USL, talk about specifically the Tampa Bay Rowdies, and are the Richmond Kickers back? We finish by making picks for games heading up into this weekend, and ultimately, it is a very fun episode, so please enjoy, and this is Probably Soccer. Justin, how we doing?
We're good, man. We are fresh off the World Cup a couple weeks ago. We've got MLS back up, USL back up, USL Super League's about to start. Dude, we have so much to talk about.
Let the world know that we back up. We back up. Let them know that we back up. That's all I gotta say.
I think you said it.
But like you were saying, there's so much to discuss, so no need for too long of a banter at the beginning. I think we jump right in. What do you say?
I'm down. Let's hit it.
So I think the biggest thing is this past week, the Leagues Cup has been going on. Have you been watching the Leagues Cup, Justin?
Of course I've been watching the Leagues Cup. Where have you been? Under a rock?
No, I've been at home watching the Leagues Cup, of course.
Oh, of course.
And so, again, this is our kind of first full MLS season of following. And going into this tournament, I was kind of like, all right, like this tournament sucks. Like, what is the point of this tournament besides just like, cool, MLS plays Liga MX teams? Like, what is the point of this tournament?
Right.
And so, Justin, I need to know your thoughts. Do you like this tournament?
Yeah, I think that's kind of everyone's question, right? Like, we're coming off of something really cool with the World Cup. We're pushing back into like MLS, and we have to kind of think about all of these new faces that haven't been equated with like the American soccer tournaments. And Leagues Cup is fairly new, right? It's not like a historic tournament in the U.S., but it's kind of what we have, right? Like when we look at England and Europe and all of them, like they have the FA Cup, they have all of these other tournaments that kind of just have these historical values. They might not always be the most competitive matches. Like obviously like an FA Cup final and a Champions League final aren't going to be the same thing, but they still like they mean something when you win these trophies. In order for us to kind of get to that point, we have to kind of let it simmer for a little while. And I think it's kind of funny that people are already trying to throw this out. And I think familiarity is one thing. Like obviously like with these teams that aren't in the MLS, people don't necessarily know the names of these teams, but I think it's good for the league. I think that, having a tournament like this, because like, what if the leagues just keep getting better and better, and then this tournament actually turns into something really great, and we just kind of threw it out before we got to figure it all out. If that makes sense. So I think we should keep it around. There's probably some changes that need to be made, but there are people in charge who are trying to figure this out. What do you you're trying to figure out what you're watching. What do you think about this?
Yeah, so going into it, like I said, I was really buying into the Twitter propaganda of like, this tournament sucks, it's embarrassing, we don't need this tournament. I think most years MLS is winning. Like last year, the championship was between Seattle and Miami. So it's kind of like, what's the point if it's just going to end up being MLS teams that are going to win a cup that will, I think ultimately the prize is getting into the CONCACAF Champions Cup, which is cool, but it brings in the conversation of, do we just help revitalize the U.S. Open Cup for those people to get berths into the Champions Cup, into the CONCACAF Champions Cup? But that's another thing. After watching it, I think it started Tuesday. It's Sunday now, so pretty much every night, it's kind of feel like I've been back at like the World Cup, of like something's always on. There's always some sort of game on, and when I have watched Liga MX, I've enjoyed what I've watched. It's just I live on the East Coast, so when Liga MX is playing, it's 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and so I don't really stay up to watch it often. And so it's just kind of more like a Friday night, I'm at home, it's on, I'll put it on. So it's been a fun way to watch different Liga MX teams. My Cholos, shout out. That's the team I decided that I would support. in Tijuana. Shout out. They are not looking good. They play tonight at 10 p.m., so I don't know if I'm going to stay up to watch that. But after watching it this week, I think I'm pro Leagues Cup. I think I have decided I really enjoy watching it. I think it is worth it. And also, like you were saying with both leagues improving, Liga MX has started to get their talent from the MLS. So think about recent sales from MLS teams to Liga MX. Hugo Kuipers, who was in the running for Golden Boot in the MLS, which I guess he still has the lead at 13 goals, 14 maybe. He was like a shoo-in for the Golden Boot, and he got sold to Monterrey. From Portland, Mora, I'm blanking on his first name, gets sold from Portland to I'm blanking on which team, but there were like 5 different players that had recently gotten sold from an MLS club to a Liga MX clubs within the past 2-3 seasons. They had a whole segment on that on the Leagues Cup countdown show. And so I think with Mexico League coming to MLS for their talent and improving like their gameplay and coming to us to try to improve it, I think that kind of presents its own storyline in and of itself. And also I think it's just really fun watching the intra league,
right?
Inter or intra? Sorry, I mean I'm from Beaumont.
It's
so
one of them.
watching the leagues play against each other. I'll just say that.
Yeah,
it is fun watching the leagues play against each other, and there is something on the line. And so I know it'll come down to like 4 teams from the MLS, 4 teams from Liga MX will end up playing each other in the knockout rounds. So it's been honestly really fun to watch. I think I'm leaning, and going forward after this tournament, we'll see how I feel once it's like done. But I think if I were a voting member of the U.S. Soccer Federation, they were deciding on if they should keep it or get rid of it, I'm voting keep.
Yeah, for sure. I think you hit it on the head. Like, just you can either like go get a team, like you're choosing to look at this other league and like have a team there and kind of just have your biases that way. I think you can also just look at it from a way of like, okay, I'm an American. I want to get into the MLS. I want to look at these things. I'm just going to cheer for the MLS teams. Right? Like, at the end of the day, if it's more
Which
soccer...
I have been doing.
Right.
I have been doing that.
Absolutely. Like, obviously...
Even if that includes FC Dallas.
Right, exactly. Like, I don't want Austin FC to win. But if they're playing... Who are they playing tonight? It's Puebla? How do you pronounce that? See where, like, it's...
Puebla?
I want Austin to win. Right? Like, I'm cheering for them actively because, like... Mm-hmm. It's like having a brother. Like, I'm gonna pick on my brother, but you're not allowed to pick on my brother. Right. So I want it. You want the MLS to win. Obviously, like, this is good soccer being played. It advances the sport. It's good for us. Like if you like soccer, you'll enjoy it. I don't think we should get rid of it. I think that you should always try to change things if they're not working out. But why would we throw it out? I mean, it's just more. It gets the players on the field more. It's more to watch. It's more to talk about. I like it.
Yeah, it's super fun. I think you are having fun watching it as an FC Dallas fan because they've won their first 2 games, and depending on how Game 3 goes, kind of a shoe-in to make it to the knockout rounds, which I think will be fun. It is interesting that they played their first game at the MLS Next Pro Stadium in Mansfield instead of at Toyota. But I guess that's what happens when you're renovating your stadium. And so I'm sure you've had fun watching it. I've generally been a neutral because my team sucks and is straight cheeks and didn't make playoffs last year. And so they're not in this cup. And the only cup I got to watch, they lost to Knoxville. But we've talked about that. Right. And so I think it's pretty exciting. I know you're having fun watching it with FC Dallas. Evander's been going off, just having like insane goals. It's just really fun watching these players just play against Mexican teams, watching the Mexican teams like Club America. They obviously travel so well wherever they play, and it's just so fun watching the atmosphere of those games. And so, Justin, I think I know your answer to this, but who's your prediction to win it all for the Leagues Cup?
You know, I've spent a lot of time thinking about it. I've really mulled it over, and my complete 100% unbiased opinion is that FC Dallas is going to sweep them all. Dallas by 90, DTID. Sam Sarver is going to tear it up every single time. And don't even get me started about Peter Musa. Just, you can't stop both of them. So, I think my complete unbiased opinion, and my professional opinion, is that FC Dallas will win the Leagues Cup by 90.
Yeah, I think depending on how tonight goes, I'm going to go with the Portland Timbers. They play Club America tonight, so it'll be interesting how that goes. But they looked very good in their game the other night. So I'm going with Portland. And if not Portland, definitely an MLS team. That's where my alliances lie. I want an MLS team to win.
What about DC
MLS
United?
Major League Soccer. DC United's not in the tournament.
What about DC United?
We're not. I'm not entertaining this thought. You're just gonna give me shit. We're not entertaining this. I already acknowledged that we were bad, and we didn't make playoffs, so we weren't playing in the Leagues Cup. But next year, it's ours. Next year is our year.
Okay.
All right, this is where you throw in the transition. Justin, there's been some news going on in the U.S. soccer world, and it's just really fun that we've now been watching U.S. soccer long enough to where we can understand this news and get excited about it. So for this one, I need to bring up my prop for this. Got my chain, baby. Got my USA chain. Because U.S. Soccer has re-signed Mauricio Pochettino through 2030. At this point, it's almost sort of old news, but it's been allowed us to mull over it for, I think it's been about a week since it officially was announced. So, Justin, are you pro, anti? What are your thoughts on the hire?
Yeah, I think we've both been vocal, at least with each other, about this, and we were happy with Poch. I mean, like, how could you not be? He just kind of bought in to our culture and bought into like that American thinking we can win it type thing. And I think he had a real chance, and I think we talked about it last time we were together on the pod, but like he had a real chance probably to go somewhere else and get paid a lot of money and work for some really good clubs. And I think it means a lot, and it shows that like we might actually have something cooking here where he can see like there's a chance. I am glad that he's back. The number one thing we need is consistency. And as long as that consistency isn't Greg Berhalter, and it's actually a good coach, I think that I think it's good. I don't know how anyone could be anti this.
I have watched a few interviews of people being pretty anti, which is pretty fun to watch. But I'm very pro. I love Mauricio Pochettino. He came in 2024, so like over halfway through the cycle. We only had 18 months to build heading up into this World Cup. So I am very pro. I'm excited to see what he could do with a whole 4 years of culture building, as long as he doesn't go somewhere else in the next 4 years. That's, Justin, do you think he's going to actually be the coach in 2030 for the World Cup?
I think we have to just hope, right?
Okay.
That's all. I mean, like,
yeah, I think he will be.
I hope he is.
I ultimately, I don't even hope. I know.
Okay.
Mark this down. Save this video. Probably soccer. Eddie Michel, August 9th, 2026 at 2:39 p.m. I'm saying Mauricio Pochettino will be our coach in 2030, and he will lead us to the promised land of the quarterfinals, at least. So I think he will still be our coach. He will definitely keeping on. 4 years of culture building, maybe seeing if he can get Kevin Sullivan within the mix, bring in those young guys, rip Tim Ream, So seeing what that looks like, what kind of culture and what he could build over the next 4 years, it's got me pretty fired up.
Yeah. No, I'm excited.
Yeah. So shout out Mauricio Pochettino. Clap him up. Congratulations. I'm sure it's another big payday. I'm sure that billionaire is paying a lot of money, and you know what? I love it. I love it a lot.
Obviously, like in other news, when it comes to a new hire. We've got Larry Berg, the new commissioner of the MLS. Just like Poch, I mean, we're going to have people who are anti this, pro this, the contingent owner of LAFC. Eddy, what do you think about this? What is your initial thoughts, and how do you think he's going to do? I mean, compared to like the former regime.
Regime.
I mean, it's just what it is.
It's been similarly probably a week or so since confirmed. I really had no clue who he was, and maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
He's owner. I've his full title for LAFC, which has been since joining the league a very well-run club. I will say that, just business-wise and getting stuff done, culture building. They have good aura. We love aura on this podcast, and so I think Garber, current commissioner, he came in 1999, so he saw really the expansion of this league, the growth of this league. And so I was watching a podcast, Pablo Maher, he's a MLS journalist that I enjoy watching and reading. He made the point of the past 20 years or so, the thing in the MLS is expansion, expand, but they've gotten to 30 teams, and so now Berg is coming in, it needs to be focused a lot more on the product on the field, because you probably can't go more than 32 teams in MLS if we're being honest.
Yeah.
30 is already really pushing it, especially in a soccer league, in a football league if our Europeans are listening, or literally any other country in the world. And so starting to focus more on the product of the field. Okay, how can we improve the play that's going on? How can we improve the quality of players? How can we get rid of the notion that the MLS is just a retirement league for superstars overseas? And so I think that's what Larry Berg his term will address and work on. I think Garber's done a great job of setting the foundation and growing the league, and now it's a matter of improving the quality of play for the best league in the world, the Major League Soccer. And back in the 80s, 70s, 80s, there was Magic and Bird, or it was the 80s, 90s. I might be getting my eras wrong. You're the basketball guy. But now we've got Magic and Berg. We got Berg, okay? We got Larry Berg. And so I'm hoping he does really well as commissioner. I've come to love this league. I love as a DC United fan, OG MLS club, organization. I'm excited to see what Berg could do to improve quality of play and ultimately lead MLS to its next, post Messi, post Lewandowski, post Son, post Mueller age. How can we get those types of people playing in America earlier in their career? And so I'm excited to see what he does there.
Yeah, and I think the only big glaring red flag you would see, and I think it's just kind of out of from an American standpoint, is we know that Berg is, with him being that owner with the LAFC, that kind of puts up a red flag in my mind. It's like, why do we have one team's owner kind of over everyone? But in the MLS, it's not constructed like the NBA or the NFL, all that. Just a reminder, they have owners of the teams, but I kind of like to think about it. They all have different shares of the teams, but they're working as one conglomerate, MLS. Mm-hmm. So, and that is either a positive for you, or if you're like me, it's negative. But we work with what we have, and
right.
I think, how could you go wrong, right? You can't be innovative until you're organized. And I think they have taken the last 20 years to get organized, get their teams together. Figure out what happens with the Whitecaps. Obviously, once that transition moves, we'll kind of be more organized.
Keep them in Vancouver.
Well, that's what we're hoping.
Please keep them in Vancouver.
I would love for them to stay in Vancouver. But
please.
Again, and that'll be up to not the hick from French Lick, but Larry Berg. But yeah,
Berg.
I think he's got every single opportunity to really we're in a really good launching point, and he just needs to figure out what it's going to take to pull that lever and push us forward. And I think you did a really good job saying it's good that we're getting all these players, but we need to get them earlier in their careers. We want to be a contention for these types of players. And how do you go from competing with I don't know, the Italian league or the Saudi league and start to compete with these European leagues that are
right.
contending
And
for these
when
high-level
developing
players.
American talent, make it to where they want to stay and play the MLS rather than go to Europe,
Right.
which would be a lot. That would take a lot. Full frankness there. But if we can get to that point, that'd be awesome. Developing in America and then staying in America and go play in the World Cup and you don't get made fun of because you're an MLS player.
Yeah.
So, those are I think we've covered all of our bases there. I wish Larry Berg the best. Thank you, Don Garber. Your signature is on this soccer ball behind me. Shout out. Thank you for your service to the game in America.
Hey, clap it up for Don Garber.
I'm going to stop. All right. I think it's time. It's been a while. It's been quite a while since we've done this. I think we've only did 2 to start. I think it's time for the Kicker's Corner. That was good. I think it's time that we address the elephant, or rather, should I say, kangaroo in the room. Are the Kickers back? Are we back? We've won 2 games in a row, Justin.
Eddie, without a doubt, 100%, no doubt in my mind. No, we're not back, man.
Oh my God,
we're not close. It's really bad.
I think
we're really bad, Eddie.
We might be back. Maybe I think Obi's got two wins in a row. Granted, against Avialta and the Cosmos, who the Cosmos are the worst team in the league. But we're second worst, so that doesn't mean it was a guaranteed win against the Cosmos.
I'm really happy for Gaffer. I'm really excited. I'm really happy for him.
Homegrown.
But other than that,
I think we're back. If we win the 3rd game, we will officially be back. And that, honestly, this makes the Boise game so much more frustrating that I went to, because if we win that game, I think we'd be in 12th or 13th instead of 15th, and much more closer to maybe making a run for playoffs. I'm not going to say that now, but we're back. We're so back. Ownby, the GOAT. Should we re-sign him after this season? I think it's still too early to tell. Maybe we go into a rebuild, but I think it is important that we do a Kicker's Corner here today and declare on my end that the Kickers are back.
I will say at the very least, we recorded and it never went out because obviously, but we recorded a video calling for the firing of the coach.
Of Spotsky, of Darren.
Yeah. But literally, like, it was gonna be super easy. I just had to throw something together and then post it, and I'm in the middle of doing that, and he already got fired. So we didn't even have to announce it. We didn't have to call for it. He got fired.
He didn't get fired. He took a job for the Portland job to start next season, and the Kickers ended up getting some sort of buyout from that. So we made money off of him leaving. Granted, I don't know how much money that is, but yeah, we were going to call for his firing, and then it kind of happened the next day. So I like Ownby. He's from Richmond area. I think if he can keep stringing some wins together, I think then yes, they'll rehire him. But also, Mr. Ukrop, if you want to do a rebuild, I'm behind you. I'm behind you, Rob. I got you. But I think that's a perfect segue just into sort of, when the World Cup was happening, USL was still happening too. So USL's been going on for a while. Things are really starting to shape up heading into the last part of the season, sort of like this final third, I would say, of the season. Things are really shaping up. There's a lot going on in the USL world. But Justin, I think it's really important to discuss. It seems, at least in the championship, there's one team that's really sort of rising above the rest. And what are your observations of that team, if you want to, say who that team is?
I will. Every time that me and you talk about the USL, this is not, sadly, this is not one of our teams, right? Like I haven't even, it's not even one of the teams that we kind of root for. They're kind of just out of the blue. But Tampa Bay, the Rowdies, look so good. And we were even saying before the pod, I think that it's comfortable for me to say that like this is one of those teams that can kind of, if you put them in the MLS, like we're looking at a team that can kind of compete for themselves. They're fast, they know what they're doing, they're obviously well coached. I don't know if it's just like the Tampa Heat and people can't handle it, but I mean they're playing out of their minds, Eddie.
Yeah, they are a very good team. I went to Loudoun. I went to a Loudoun United game when Tampa Bay came to town because I specifically wanted to watch the best team in the USL Championship play. And granted, that game ended in a tie, which needs to be a reminder that the USL is, anyone can win on any day. The Kickers have now won 2 games in a row after losing God knows how many in a row. Anyone can win on any day. So when it comes down to playoffs, like whether the Rowdies they end up winning the I forget what they call it in the USL. Is it Supporter Shield, President's Trophy? I think
Supporter Shield is MLS.
I think everyone should have the same name. But anyways, if they win that, they're not guaranteed to win it all because I think last year it was Louisville City and they lost to Pittsburgh first round, I believe, or second round. Mm-hmm. They lost fairly early in the playoffs. So USL is so what's the word for like different teams winning every year?
Well, they're fickle, right?
That's not the word I'm thinking of.
I think about it as just being fickle. It's like
it's a good word.
It's always changing.
Parody of the league. It's parody.
Parody of the league. Yeah, it's parody.
Yeah, you were really confident about fickle. Okay.
I was
like,
fickle.
That's not the word.
What's the problem?
I mean, it's a fun word. I'll give it to you. But this league is so. There's so much parity in the league. I don't think they've had a repeat winner in years. And so there's always different winner every year. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to repeat. So when it comes down to it, Tampa Bay having the best record and being the best team in the league going into playoffs doesn't necessarily guarantee that they're going to win the championship. It's a 2-conference setup. You've got to win 5 games to win it all. And so that's asking for a lot, to be totally honest. And so who knows? They could end up playing a red-hot, we'll say Loudoun United, because I really want them to sneak into the playoffs towards the end of the year, end of the season. But, I think Tampa Bay looks very good. I've enjoyed watching them. Last night's game, they played Orange County, which is top of the table in the Western Conference. And so that was just fun. I got to stay up for that and watch the first half at least. And then I went to bed because I live on the East Coast. And that was fun. The Rowdies ended up winning 3-0. So that could have been like a preview of sorts for a potential championship game if they ended up playing each other. But again, the parity of the league is insane, and anyone can win on any day. And so that was fun watching them. It genuinely was a very competitive game. That first goal was off of a penalty, so the one goal I watched was a penalty, came off of that. It was a very competitive game. I really enjoyed watching it. And so, the USL Championship is sort of shaping up. League One, there's a lot going on. We'll discuss this further down when we get to the predictions, but Corpus Christi is on fire. The Portland Hearts of Pine suck. Boise is doing insane. Fort Wayne is also having a really solid atmosphere. I saw a tweet like last week, and it said something along the lines of the USL really unlocked atmospheres by putting soccer teams in not random, but in Midwest towns that all there is to do is to go to Walmart. And they're kind of right. I was watching the AC Boise game last night, and it was just insane. The atmosphere they've been able and attendance that they've been able to get. They're averaging 7K in Tier 3 of American soccer. It's crazy. So a lot going on in USL. What have you noticed in the USL world more broadly? What's gotten you excited?
I think just like as talking to people who, if we want to call them like World Cup stragglers, right? Mm-hmm. Like people who have really gotten into soccer during the World Cup, but then they're like, what's left? Do I have to wake up at 1 a.m. to watch the Premier League in a couple weeks? And I'm like, yeah, you can do that. That would be great. But if you literally just take your finger and you just look at a map of the United States and you just point in a random direction, I promise you there's a soccer team like within 30 miles of your like wherever you pointed.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been really cool to be able to explain to people. It's like, oh, you're from, I don't know, Spokane, Washington, which like not a small city,
Yeah.
but you have the Velociter there, right? Mm-hmm. You're from Knoxville. You've got a team. You're from Westchester, like you've got a team. And so it's just cool to be able to explain to people like we're not without soccer. We just need more people to watch soccer. And that's always, you know, on our podcast, what we say almost every single thing is just go watch some soccer.
Facts.
Right? Like just
toss it on.
Go watch
it.
Get
an ESPN Plus subscription. More than likely, if you have YouTube TV, you have free ESPN Unlimited. Toss it on. Go watch a game. I don't know if you saw this. There's a TikTok going around of someone watching the Louisville City Tampa Bay Rowdies game, and it was like POV. There's no sports on, and you put on you randomly end up watching the best soccer game of the entire season.
That's how it goes.
That game was insane, and it's so funny. I'll put on like random games and just seeing what happens. It's just so funny.
I do have a little bit of a rant when it comes to that YouTube TV stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So last night I was sitting. I finally get relaxed, got the house clean and stuff. I'm about to go turn on some soccer, and I turn on YouTube TV because I always want to see what they have broadcasted. Mm-hmm. This is going on at the same time that the Tampa Bay Rowdies and the Orange County SC are playing. In CBS, knowing that they're going to have that channel slot open, I couldn't even tell you the two teams that were on there. But we're talking about free broadcast TV that you can go and watch, and they don't even have the best game on. Like, so I say that.
You win some,
the broadcasts
you lose some.
They're part of the problem. I don't know. I just feel like it felt like an easy choice to just go ahead and put the Orange County Tampa Bay Rowdies game on the TV. But no, I mean, like, they just didn't even have it.
At least on, like, CBS Sports Network. But it's a little tough to ask for that at, like, 10 p.m. on a Saturday slot, I guess. But it is nice when I'm like, oh, wow, the Kickers are on CBS Sports Network right now. And then I open up my DirecTV and I say, wow, I don't have access to CBS Sports Network, which means I'll be switching to YouTube TV ahead of the upcoming American football season. And a little different, but also the USL world. I'm very excited about this. This coming weekend, USL Super League is back, Justin. I know you didn't watch much of it last season. You really locked in because I told you to lock in by how exciting it was. But what are you going to lock in on USL Super League with me this year, or what?
I am, as you know, a devout Dallas Trinity fan, and I will be following them the entire season. I'm bought in. I don't like the Power. They're bad. And, yeah, I mean, I think I'll just do what I do with all the other ones, and I'll get some Trinity. I'll lock onto them, and I will just bash the DC teams as much as I can. And I think we're winning it all this season.
The Trinity have actually made some incredible signings. They're very active, which I'm
not joking. They've done a really good job, and I'm really excited for the season.
You know, we already talked. I talked a little bit about in the solo pod about the new ownership of the Trinity, and you know, just sort of what's going on there. I'm very excited. I think both of our teams have home openers this Saturday. I am sad. I was gonna hopefully maybe try to make it to Dallas whenever the Power play this fall, because they're doing the shortened league in the fall before switching to spring to fall calendar to match up with the NWSL. And I was gonna try to go to Dallas whenever the Power play in Dallas, but I have a wedding that weekend in Florida, so I will not be able to make it to Dallas this season to watch.
You're gonna go to the Rowdies
Power
game.
Play. I'm not in that part of Florida, unfortunately. But I think that's a perfect segue. It's been a while, Justin. It has been a while. We've got some games this weekend, some really fun matchups, and I think we should start with the USL Super League in our predictions. And so up first, obviously, since I chose the 5 games this week, I'm going to start with DC Power versus the Carolina Ascent. Justin, what is your prediction for this game?
Well, I'm not a liar, so I'll need to just go ahead and bash on DC. I'll go 2-0 Carolina Ascent. I like the name. Like, again, I'm getting into the Super League more and more. I like the name. I'm I'm down with some Carolina. Yeah, 2-0 Carolina.
I'm going to go 1-1 draw. The Power have made some good signings this season. I've liked what I've seen. I think they've only had one preseason friendly, which concerns me a little bit. So I think it'll be a pretty shaky start that first game. So I'm going 1-1 draw to start. Second, also in the USL Super League, I'm going to toss it up for you, Justin. Dallas Trinity versus the Tampa Bay Sun.
By 90.
Who by 90?
We're going to win by 90.
All right. I'll quote you on that.
We're undefeated. We've never lost. This season, nobody has been able to beat us. I think we win by 90.
Yeah, you're undefeated because you haven't played yet. Got it. Heading over to the MLS. This is a sleeper game for me, to be honest. So I'm actually really excited about it. Orlando versus Cincinnati. So I don't know if you remember this, but I did a solo pod heading into the World Cup break. And I talked about, if there was one Cinderella team that's going to climb into the playoffs, it's going to be Orlando. And they're sitting in that 10th spot right now in the Eastern Conference. And they are winning games. Griezmann has had an immediate impact. So I'm very excited about this game. Justin, what is your pick?
I think I agree with you. I like the idea that Orlando, with the Griezmann signing, with kind of this momentum they got going forward, I hope they do make some run. Cincinnati's a good team. I know, in a passionate fan base in Cincinnati, they love their team. I can see this going either way. I think 2-1 Orlando. I'll play with the side of momentum.
Yeah, I also really like Orlando. Selfishly, I really want them to lose so DC United can get some padding. So I'm going to go 1-0 Cincinnati in this one.
Hope for it.
1-0 FC Cincinnati. Moving over to USL Championship, Orange County versus Louisville City. Orange County, even after losing 3-0 to the Rowdies, still top of the Eastern Conference in the West. Louisville City, always consistently very good team. I think they're fourth in the East right now. So I think that'll be a pretty exciting game. It's always fun seeing the conferences play against each other. Justin, what is your pick?
Yeah, Orange County obviously coming off that 3-0 loss against Tampa Bay. They're a good team. Number one in the West. Like you said, Louisville's a good team in the East, but I think they'll have a bounce back game. But I don't think 3-0 is a lot. Let's just say I'd say about one. I'll say 1-0 Orange County. They're a good team. I don't see them losing 2 in a row. Their defense usually holds up pretty well. So I want to say 1-0. I'm leaning 2-1. But yeah, go.
I think it's gonna be. Hear me out on this, Justin. 2-0 Louisville City.
Golly.
I'm going out on a limb there, but I'm going 2-0 Louisville City.
I love it when you're wrong.
And that's that. Heading into our last game, USL League One. This one I think will be very interesting. Spokane versus Corpus Christi. It's similar to Orlando. Corpus Christi has been on a tear. They started out this season awful. Awful. But I watched them play against Portland yesterday. They looked really good. They keep winning. I don't know what it is. They've got the expansion team magic going for them right now. And so Corpus Christi climbing the table. Spokane, I think they're third or fourth in the table right now. So it should be a fun game. Justin, what is your pick?
I think it's funny talking about Corpus Christi coming off of the idea that all these random cities have teams.
True.
Because when us growing up in Texas, you might go to Corpus Christi to go to the beach, not a very good beach.
Literally. Or college.
But yeah, right. But so nothing else is really going on. That being said, I love the vibes. I love the Shark. I love how well they're doing. The other side of this for me is followed by every time I look at my phone, I get the FOTMob notifications every time a game starts in the USL, every time somebody scores, so I can kind of keep up with it while I'm doing other tasks. There's just so many games going on. I feel like every time I open my phone, Spokane gets scored on. It's just what I feel. It's been multiple times. I'm opening my phone. Oh, Spokane versus the Spokane's down 1-0. So with the momentum, I'll follow momentum again. I'm going 3-0 Corpus Christi. I'm just rooting
3?
for him. I'm just rooting for him.
3?
I'm hoping for the best. I think 3-0.
Oh my gosh.
But when it happens, come find me.
I'm going 1-0 Corpus Christi. 3 is insane, Justin.
You don't believe in him. You don't believe in him.
I don't. I'm going 1-0. 1-0
Hey,
Corpus Christi.
Christi, you guys win 3-0 against Spokane.
We'll come to a game. We'll come to a game. We'll come to Corpus.
You'll be my team.
No, they're in the Kickers League. What are you talking about?
I don't even care. I know what I'm saying.
Corpus Christi,
I'll adopt.
if you win this game 3-0, I literally will change travel plans, take out a loan, whatever I need to do. I'm going to get down to Corpus Christi and I'll come to a game. That's what I'll do. If you win this game 3-0.
I'll be a Corpus Christi fan. I'm on 100%. I'm on the train. You win this game 3-0 against Spokane.
All right, well, I believe that'll do it for this week's edition of Probably Soccer. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Feel free to follow us there. Follow us on Instagram at Probably Soccer Pod. And ultimately, we will see you in the next one. Thanks.